under Edit Post, which is the top of the main region, we have a toolbar with 4 buttons. So we have Add Block, Undo, which is unavailable, Redo, which is unavailable, and Content Structure, which is unavailable, and also Collapse. So the only one that I can do anything with is Add Block. Now it's very interesting to me because it's not only a menu, but it is also collapsed, and I usually don't associate, I view those as sometimes mutually exclusive with expanded and collapsed in menus, so I'm interested to see how that will behave. But I'm going to keep going for a second here. Previews unavailable and publish is unavailable, settings more, etc. So now we can add a title. It would be nice to have had a hidden heading or a visual one, depending on what is you able to get away with respect to design. That would have allowed me to jump over all of this other stuff and like directly to like the add title and then the so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes.
So let's add a title. This is going to be Sina Test. Okay, I'm going to just tab from there since I'm already in focus mode or whatnot. And when I tabbed from there, I got a lot of stuff going on here. So all of a sudden, I am in whatever I'm in, which is like there's this permalink that's coming up, add image button, add heading button, even though when I shift, hold on, let me explain this from the beginning. Yeah. There is an asynchronous behavior going on with respect to me tabbing forward and encountering elements A, B, and C, and then expecting to shift tab and encounter elements C, B, and A, and instead I don't. My flow for tabbing is not the reverse of my flow for shift tabbing, and that is very, very, very confusing. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes. That's expected feedback.
Okay, cool. So, so that's definitely something that would be frustrating. I just I'm going to go back to this edit field here so I can get back to my known place. Okay, Sina Test is fine. I added this. Oh my! I hit backspace.
20 bucks and 20 bucks.
Oh, interesting. You had.
You know what? If you didn't have the
just give me a second. I'm sorry. I was in focus mode. That's fine. And then, yeah. Did you see what just? So
I couldn't tell what just happened visually.
So, yes, I'm able now to replicate this every time. I'm going to hit E to jump to the first edit field, okay?
Okay.
That's going to get us to the title field. So here we go.
Great.
Boom. I'm there now. Add title. And it says add title contains text. And by the way, it doesn't tell me the value of that text field, which is very interesting to me because if it was a real text field with text that I had typed into it, it should have given me the value of the text field when I jumped to it. It's not doing that. I'm going to hit enter though. And it says forms mode on. I'm using JAWS. So it's forms mode on. And I still have no idea what's in this text field. Now I can hit up arrow to just see what's in there. Okay, misspelled Sina and misspelled test, right? Because it doesn't know my name. That's totally fine. So I'm going to hit end because I thought I had added an empty space at the end of my title. And I was going to go delete it. So I'm going to hit end. And then I hear end blank. Okay, cool. Left arrow. Space, left arrow key, right arrow is that there is a space there, so I'm going to delete that space. I'm going to hit right arrow and I'm going to hit backspace. And then it's of course not doing it now that I've taken, yes it is. If I hit right arrow one more time after test, for some reason I'm exiting this edit field and landing on some permanent thing, etc., etc. You're not trapping my focus in that edit field.
Correct.
And the arrow keys are allowing me to get out of it.
Yes.
Which is...
That is what's happening.
Okay, that is...
disconcerting?
Well, not a good thing to do. Yeah, so it's incredibly disconcerting and it breaks everything that one knows about an edit field.
Right.
So you cannot do that. Like, arrow keys, I'm fine with arrow keys doing non-traditional things, but they can't do that in an edit field where there's a contract with the user that this is an edit field, home
right.
and up, down, left, right, all these things work in a certain way. And, do across thousands of different widgets across your computer. So I'm going to keep going, although I have no clue where I am now, so I'll do an insert tab. add text or type. It claims that I am in add text or type for adding content. Let's just try that. Am I in it? No, I'm not. So
You did add content. Did
but
work.
I don't know. I don't believe you. I believe
Yep.
you as a friend.
Indeed.
I don't believe you according to my screen reader because I did home, shift, end. I get no characters. Right? Nothing. Left? Nothing. Up? Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Down? Nothing. Well, okay.
Great.
Up did get me to the title field, just to be clear.
Uh-huh.
So let's do this. Let's see if I'm being stupid. Were there any instructions that I should have read or something? So let's up arrow here. Let's just, devil's advocate and all that. No, I don't see any instructions of like, this is how you're going to use this non-traditional widget. So,
Yes, and that is correct.
okay,
There
so,
aren't any.
Okay, so, I mean, not
That
to be
is a current argument.
not to be completely glib, but this is usually the point at which I close it and check back 6 months later.
Okay,
So
great.
I'm happy to continue, but I'm just letting you know we have many things to fix here.
Yep.
So let's keep going though. I'm going to keep going not in focus mode. I'm using my virtual cursor because
Yep.
I don't trust your focus model whatsoever anymore. You have completely broken it on me, so I'm going to ignore. I'm never going to traverse in focus. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm going to just use that strategy. A Sina test. This is a test. I see that content that I wrote, but it is not appearing to be in any type of widget when, in fact, it says, I'll tell you exactly what my virtual cursor says. Add title, no announcement of edit fields or anything. Sina test edit, that does give me a role. It's an edit field. Okay, I get that. Down arrow, blank. Okay, I get that. This is a test. I concatenated the words and such. I need to fix a typo there. But there's no role. This is a test is content on the page, right? And so I don't know if you guys are trying to go for some kind of content editable div or whatever, but clearly this is not rolled in any way that lets the screen reader know, hey, this is editable. You
Great.
can do something with this. So I'm going to just keep going because,
See what happens.
I have nothing else to do. Document settings button, okay, that seems reasonable. Block settings, that seems way less reasonable because I would have imagined that it would make way more sense to have block settings appear before document settings since it's more specific and appropriate to the thing that I'm dealing with, which is to say blocks, supposedly.
Right,
I'm
okay.
inferring that.
Yep.
Close settings button. Well, I don't have any settings open, so I'm very confused why the hell there's a close settings button here. I was never told that I opened any settings, and I'm also not told programmatically through any kind of describe by or ARIA label additions what close settings like controls, in terms of elements on the page, right? So there's no like ARIA controls on this to be like, what is this closing? That kind of thing. So that's a thing. There's a heading here now that there's a button inside of a heading, which is always, I always feel weird about that because it's just very different semantics, but it's a level 2 heading with a button that is expanded that says status and visibility. Okay, and then it's visibility on a line by itself, which is very odd. Maybe that should have been a heading or something to head up some content. Public button, which is collapsed. Publish. Now, public, I'm guessing, is my control for access.
That is, in fact, your visibility.
My visibility, right? Which is before it. But how come it's not labeling? Why can't we just label the public button? I'm sorry, the button that is now public as the visibility button with its value set to public, and that way you would have one control instead of 3, which is what I have right now.
Right.
And or a picker and or whatever. You can phrase it how I don't want to.
Right.
Impose,
No, that's fine.
Yeah. But you see what
There
I mean.
are ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Publish. But publish is weird to me. Publish seems like an action, in terms of its wording, but it's just text. There's no active control here. March 22nd, that's the date right now. This is very interesting to me. So I see. So I'm inferring now that what you're trying to say is, when do you want to publish this? You want to publish it in the date that is in the button. Because I have no other way of interpreting that, right? And I'm guessing that I can actuate that button to publish it in the future, like a day from now, 2 days from now, whatever. Anyways, post format. This is a lot of this is more standard stuff. So standard, I'm guessing I can come down here, status, yep, video, got it, sure. And so that's my various things there. Let's put it back on standard. Let's leave that. I hit tab on that, and instead of taking me to the next control, it just collapsed it and kept me in that combo box, which is not the expected behavior. And that's a, I think, older element. I don't think that's part of the new editor as much. I could be wrong about that.
The whole editor has been completely revamped.
I see.
Everything is different.
Got it. Stick to the front page. Checkbox not checked. Okay, it seems reasonable. Pending review, it seems reasonable. That's a checkbox as well. Then again, we have the stuff going on with like author, and then we have the user account that you have me log in as.
Right.
Move to trash, and then there have been 4 revisions, and that is a link that presumably would let me go look at revisions 1 through 3. And we have another heading that is a button, or button that is a heading, and it's categories, and then another heading that is a button that is tags. I mean, again, this is just not a reasonable, I would argue, structure. I would say that what I would expect is like I get the intent, I suppose, because I suppose what you want is like there's tags, and then if I expand it, you want the heading to hang around so that I have that heading navigability, so you have a heading there. So I love that portion of it, but I just don't like the fact that it's very unclear. It is a little unclear to me, like, why there's a bunch of headings that aren't heading anything up. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So I love the fact that it does facilitate jumping by heading, and then the heading structure, I think, stays. Let me make sure that's accurate. Yes, and expanded tags, yes, it does stay. So I get it. I think I could get used to that very much so, but it would just be something I would argue for novice users would maybe be a little confusing, right? So we could maybe talk about that. Add new tag. Now this is interesting, right? Because it's a call to action, but it's a combo box. So I'm guessing that, and it says separate with commas. Although I will point out, it says separate with commas after the edit field, not before the edit field. And the accessible name of the edit field. Oh wow, my tab focus goes all the way up there. I just hit tab, even though my virtual cursor was right above an edit field, because I wanted to report to you its accessible name. And instead, I'm all the way where I previously focus was. So let me just tab my way down to where I want to be.
That was exciting.
That was interesting. Here we go, add new tag, add a combo, and yes, it does say the separate combos for its accessible label, which is great. So let's just add tag 1. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, okay. So here's what's going on. Let's erase all that. Every time I hit a single letter, I get T. Hold on, I gotta do this again, there's a lot. T, because we're gonna read it, also the field content. So I'm getting key echo plus the field is getting relet out, plus add new tag edit combo, collapsed, hold on, it gets more. Use JAWS key plus R to read descriptive text, because there's probably a describe by on this thing, etc., etc. So this is incredibly
very verbose,
and none of that is helpful when I'm typing. Not a single one of those things was what I wanted to know. What I wanted to know, presumably, was maybe something along the lines of like an autocomplete notification or something along those lines. If I type test and testers is one of my tags, then I would love to have known, hey, 3 results found, down arrow, if there's an autocomplete. Otherwise, this field shouldn't talk to me at all. Maybe when I do a comma, letting me know that it grabbed that tag, finalized it, put it on the list above or below, and lets me type more tags. But other than that, it should not be talking to me while I'm typing into it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll keep going. Back to virtual cursor per my rule before. Separate with commas, got that. A featured image, got it. And same, I'm not, like, I understand these all have their individual components, but I'm just doing high level for right now, so I'm not going to expand them and drill down. Discussion, main region. Okay, well, fair enough. Now, under main region end, I have, for some reason, something that says no results. And I'm guessing that's the div that you've stuffed at the bottom of the page and thrown an ARIA Live region on to actually tell me about the thing that I was complaining about earlier with respect to autocomplete. At least I'm guessing that's
Could
why
be.
that's
I don't know what that is.
But there's something that says no results at the bottom. And when I do this kind of thing all the time. It's usually a div you stuff at the bottom of the page and then throw ARIA Live on it. And that's your poor man's say function, right?
Probably,
for things like
yeah.
autocomplete. But none of that div was not reading, right? If I come to add new tag here, and I don't know if you have any tags in the system, but if I do like test.
Well, to be fair, you would have to create a tag that actually existed for it to
It
register
does say,
and autocomplete.
hold on one
so-
second. It does say no results. 1 second. After all of those things I told you JAWS says, then at the no, and not all the time. I typed more letters, and now it didn't say no results. So there's
Inconsistent.
very, and now it does say no results this time. So very inconsistent. It might be set to polite instead of assertive. I pretty much always use assertive for something like this because it is a situation where you want to interrupt because the notification of the autocomplete should trump the
Right.
content entry. Obviously, assertive is you should be careful with it. I'm happy to look at other stuff. You want me to go out?
I'd like you to go back to the editor for a while because this is very helpful.
Yeah, I just wanted to get through some of those components because
Totally.
So, let's add a block. Well, let's figure out how to edit my text. I'm going to naively assume that if I come up here and hit enter on the text that I wrote, even though it doesn't say that I can, something will happen. So now it says editor content region, and now, am I in editing? I am editing. Can I highlight? I can. I can fix my typo there. Okay, fine. I have no feedback on backspace whatsoever. And now I'm in tags.
Really?
Yep, really. Add new tag, test 12, remove tag. I never was even told that I was not in focus mode, in forms mode anymore. Yep, I'm all the way down.
I'll also just tell you, you've got a flashing cursor in the editable text,
I believe you. Here, I'll
which
type
is
something.
very strange.
See? Yep, so I'm in virtual cursor. And it's 5 revisions, so clearly it thought I did something. I mean,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go back up yet again. Enter. That's Sina test, but where's...
Oh, I wonder if the cursor creation, I mean the revision creation forced a focus change. That would be stupid.
Well, here's another thing. I know for a fact that I fixed this. I know I did. And now it says this test...
Well,
all
I can
one
actually
word-
tell you that I saw you delete that extra space. So.
But because it wasn't reading it to me.
Right. You didn't know you did it.
Right. I didn't
but
know
I did. You did do it.
I got it. Because it wasn't reading me the backspace
Yep.
stuff. I got you. So enter again. Nope, nothing. How about enter on the text? Nope, nothing. Enter again. Now I have no way of editing this thing.
Interesting.
Space maybe? Nope, no. Shift tab. Shift tab did put a tab focus on it. Tab enter now. Nope. Space now. Nope. Escape. Nope. Down arrow. No, I got nothing.
Great.
I can route my mouse and click on it. Yeah, that didn't do anything either. Nope.
So somehow you are completely locked out of accessing this.
pretty hosed at this point.
All right.
Yep, I jumped down to the bottom in case there was an inaccessible modal that had come up. No. Jumped up to the top. Looked for those. Nope. Navigating by edit field. The only edit fields on the page are the add title and the add new tag. These are my only two that I see.
All right.
So I'm happy to.
No, this is good.
advice
Actually,
on
this
what's
is
the next step.
Now, so what I'm going to tell you is this is, as you have already surmised, it's built as an application,
Sure.
and so it is a.
Although I didn't see an application role.
No, and that's one of the interesting things. So you do have to try and navigate around using alternate methods. The problem is, and I will tell you, it is extremely complicated, and I do not know where all of those things are.
Yeah. Should I close this out as we're talking?
Yeah, you might as well. I think I've got what I need.
No, keep going though.
Okay,
I'm
great.
listening. Okay.
So,
But just to be clear, when things are set up as applications, like they advertise themselves as certain, like an application region or whatever, right? Like, so in other words, that doesn't seem to be happening here.
correct.
You know what I mean? And also, then the screen reader, once it knows that it's an application region, actually makes it a lot more difficult to accidentally break out of it, because it'll make you actually, for example, like in JAWS, you have to double tap your route to PC cursor key, that kind of thing. So it really tries to do its best to lock you in there and pass all the keys through. And I didn't see that happening, and never did JAWS let me know, oh, I'm in the mode where I'm interacting with an application.